Hello, I am Austin Herr, Precision Farming Specialist out of Lebanon, Indiana, and today we're going to be going over some quick tips and tricks on AFS Harvest Command, how to set it up, and what some neat features are on it. So our loss funnels here, they have switched around where some of these different loss funnels sit. So we have rotor loss, broken grain, material other than grain, tailings volume, and sieve loss. And once we activate our harvest command, we can now see our sieve load. As well, to an indication that we now have harvest automation on, we can see here that we have the icon indicating that, and if we turn that off, we can see it go back to ACS save and back to automation. Another telltale sign is your sieve load here. Just like our old cross section on the Pro 700, we still have all of the same features. Some of them are in different spots. We have our upper sieve, lower sieve position, our pre-sieve position, our concave position, fan speed, rotor speed, our cage vanes, engine RPM, and then we also have our instant yield moisture here on the right. So we'll just run through a process here of daily setup. Like I said, we can hit our button here in the headliner to turn on our automation. We'll go into our grower farm and field, select the field farm, select your crop type and your header. And from there, if you're doing an AccuSync job, you can either join or create. But in this application, we're not. So we'll get back out of that. Confirm that we have corn selected here. And then we can go into our automation. So we can then further refine what we're going to use for this particular application. We can make sure our crop type is correct. Our work condition, which you can change based upon how field conditions are or what your user preference is if there's multiple combine operators, how they would like to run it. You can select your operating mode. So we can use any of these four. I would say the two common ones that we see are performance and best grain quality, especially on seed beans. So we'll select best grain quality. We can set our target max ground speed and engine load. And this would all be in the basic tab. After everything here is satisfactory, we can then move down to advanced. In the advanced tab, we get to initial settings. So initial settings, we have the choice between automatic, which lets the combine start and dictate where everything goes essentially from scratch. Current setup will basically take where you have set it to this point, and then it'll go from there. So if you want to set, certain thresholds or a starting point, like kind of a benchmark, current setup would take where we have it set currently and kind of then go from there. So that way it's not starting from in the dark per se and starting from scratch. These are all user preference. There is no right or wrong. Threshing condition. This is going to be decided at the time of the field, and it's going to change based on your condition. So if it's cutting real easy, just depending on if you still have grain on the cob, you can select hard and change the settings here as far as your threshing condition goes. Adjustment frequency is going to be how often the automation is going to be looking to make changes. So if we go to low, it should be taking a 40-second sample and averaging the changes in 20-second increments. And then as you go up from medium and high, it's going to be taking those increments of adjustments smaller and smaller and smaller. So low is going to it's going to basically take a little bit longer for it to make an adjustment. It's going to be collecting more data to make an adjustment. High is going to be taking very quick snapshots of data and making adjustments very, very frequently. Sometimes lower is better. I like to give the automation time to think and get better results before making adjustments, because then sometimes it just seems like it'll chase its tail and it'll never be able to figure itself out. So I tend to like keep it on low or medium just to give it a chance, you know, don't set it up for failure. And then if you're using feed rate, you can set your sensitivity here for your desired application there. You can set your max rotor speed, and then here we also have our range configuration. And range configuration would be if you want it to say, I don't want my sieve position to be between here and here. I want to operate from these two ranges. I don't want to go outside of that. Regardless of what the automation thinks, you got to operate between these criteria. So we'll go into range configuration here in a bit. And then this is the button that everyone shouldn't be afraid to press. This is automation reset. If you're out there plugging along, having a great time, and all of a sudden the automation you're like, what in the heck is this thing doing? I don't know what you think you're doing. Don't be afraid to hit reset. So what this will do is it'll basically reset and go back to basics, and it's going to start fresh. The big thing it'll do is on your sensitivities, it's going to reset those back to where it wants to, and it's going to just start fresh and start over. So don't be afraid to press that reset button if this thing's acting weird. It'll be fine. So another nifty feature of the Harvest Command is we have the range option. In order for ranges to be utilized, we'll have to go back to advanced and make sure range configuration is selected. And if we go here to our ranges tab down here, we can then adjust what ranges we want the system to operate in. So for upper sieve, we have it set to 16 to 25, so that will be the range that those sieves can operate. For the upper sieve, we can see here that our range is 12 to 25. To adjust, tap, and we can slide here to our desired position and click OK. Same goes for these here. If you'd like to reset them back to what they were, this will reset all of them. If you would like to reset just one, we can move our position. And like I said, if you want to adjust or reset just that one particular lower sieve, hit reset, and it snaps back to what it was. The next tab down is your status tab, which when the machine is running and on, we'll have more information here. But as of this moment, we're not able to turn this machine on. The next tab is the Info tab, which will show general information for where we should be setting. We have the Browse tab, which you can check and see its recommendations for the automation default versus where we have it set for our corn work condition. As of right now, we haven't changed anything, so they all match up pretty well. So that concludes Harvest Command here today. Thanks for watching. If you guys have more questions or want more information on Harvest Command, please contact your local precision farming specialist.